Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We have the Ibanez AEG50L BKH. Well, it's black. Um, all these specs will be in the description below if you want to check them out. It saves us some time in the video, including a link to the Long McQuade website. If I also get the link together for the Acclaim Sound and Music website, I will also put that in there too. However, Long McQuade is like nationwide. I mean, they do have online with Acclaim, but they do have only the one store I'm aware of for, where they actually walk in, buy instruments, and that's in North Bay. Anyways, I actually bought this from Acclaim Sound and Music, not from Long McQuade. I'm a trader, I know. But Long McQuade was looking at 2 to 4 months before they could get this in a left-handed. And it's kind of like, no. And this is what I've been hemming and hawing about. And I almost did buy this the other day, but it would have killed my budget. And then today I thought, well, I didn't kill the budget. I did find a loophole for getting the Yamaha because I did go through Long McQuade, financed it with some money down, and I was fine there. But then this morning I got to thinking, you know what? I really don't need two Martins, but I am definitely keeping the Road Series because it's the more expensive one and the nicer sounding one of the two. By far. So I sold Long McQuade back the X Series and got pretty much all my money back except for a very small restocking fee, so that was fine with me. And that allowed me to buy this thing cash outright and also have a lot of money left over to get other stuff done as well. So kudos. And but I still hemmed and hawed over this too, because after we left Long McQuade, the wife's like, "Where to next?" Acclaim. Why? Because I want to check out the Ibanez squeeze again, and maybe, and I was already talking to her a little bit about the idea, and, it's actually, she kind of agreed with me that it was a good idea to actually get the Ibanez, and then this way I could leave my Martin safe at home and not have it outdoors in any kind of bad environment for it. Because something like this, I really wouldn't care that much. I mean, it's under $500. What do I care? So that's kind of the way I looked at it. And if this thing truly is all laminate, well, I won't have any issues at all, which will be fine. But I still have to check out the Ibanez website to see what they say, because I do know that the back and sides are laminated, and it's Sapele, which is mahogany family, so it's mahogany back and sides really. The neck is Nyatoh. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's weird. But it's a satin finish on the neck, okay, which is fine. It makes for a nice fast neck. The action height's about the same as my Martin, so it's a little higher. Definitely higher than the Yamaha. That thing's like subterranean low, and I love it. No buzzing or fret out issues on this guitar whatsoever. Fretwork was done fantastic. I wouldn't say that the fret edges are completely baby smooth, but they're not sharp and they're not actually rough. I mean, I'm not worried about hurting myself. They're very good, so they did great fret work. The frets I find are just a smidge taller actually than my Yamaha. I don't know what kind of lifespan you can expect out of Ibanez guitars. I've never kept one honestly long enough to find out. And it's always been electrics. This is my first acoustic Ibanez that I've owned, so should be interesting. And I'm not a heavy hander anyways. I'm kind of like a light to medium. It kind of depends on what I'm playing. But it does have electronics in this, which was another criteria. It is cutaway, definitely a criteria. It's not thin line like the Yamaha. It's actually a little over an inch thicker, which is still fine. It's still, even standing up and playing, this thing sits perfect because they actually put the strap pin where it's supposed to be. Yamaha, learn something, would you? Not here, but over here, okay? It's more comfy. I love it. It's fantastic. I can stand up and play. But now, there is only one thing that I'm going to have to nitpick on, but we'll get to that. So with the electronics, we've got a gain control, and we have a shaper for the tone, okay? We also have a push button that gives us our tuner and a battery level indicator, and then we just push it again and turn it off. And our battery and our jack sit over here off to the side, and it is a 9-volt battery in this thing, so that's fine too. That works fine. Lots and lots of hours of runtime, should be. I don't have long fingernails, so I have to finger pick with my flesh. But I am getting callous on this hand because playing left and right handed, so. It does have some good bass though. Now this is more of a modern player sound guitar. Kind of like your Taylors, they're very modern, they're brighter, you know, than something like a Martin, which is still very traditionally, you know, like a blues, country, jazz, you know, kind of mellowed tone, you know, very throbby and deep, and, you know, tamed mids and trebles, you know, but still has some bass, so that's good. Anyway, it's got a nice, you know, Rosette inlay too, you know, that sort of thing. Plastic pins, plastic nut, plastic saddle, walnut bridge, walnut fretboard, you know. Now, $475, I thought was a little on the steep side. But, you know, you got to figure inflation, right? Everything's getting more and more. Buy your guitars while you can, because by next month, this might be $500 or $525. You never know. Depends on how bad inflation really starts going nuts on us soon. However, I got this from Acclaim, and they let me walk out the door with it for $450, tax included. No case, though, because it doesn't come with one period. But, hey, I didn't need a case. Throw it in the back seat and drive. For me, it was fine. $450 tax in. I had no problem paying that. You know, $475, I was kind of, you know, $475 in tax, do the math. Owie! So I'm like, can you do any better than like $475? You know, like, seriously? You know, and so anyhow, they said, well, and I'm sitting there playing, going, so he comes back a couple minutes later. How about $450 tax in? Let me go for lunch. So me and the wife went out for lunch, and we come back. I said I'd be back, and I started playing again, him and Han, a little bit more. And I said, all right. So I decided to buy it, and anyhow, it's $450 tax in, out the door. Now, we're supposed to come with a hex wrench, a spare saddle, and some spare pins, according to Long McQuaid's website. That's what should be in with the guitar. Well, I didn't get any of those parts, so I'm going to actually email Ibanez and ask them for those parts. Say, hey, this is where I bought it from, dude. It's one of your dealers, and I didn't get these parts. he may not even have them because, you know, the dealers, they're crazy because, you know, they put all the guitars out on display. Well, they're not going to keep the cardboard boxes, right? So they just like crush them up, and, you know, if there are tools in there, they likely just throw them in a bin someplace, you know. So it's like, whatever, you know, but I wouldn't mind having the spare saddle because I want to shave this one down. But first I'm going to test it with a Taylor saddle that's left-handed. See if the saddle even fits first. If it does, we'll see, because that one's pre-shaved pretty low, and I want to see how low I can get away with, because I would like to lower the action more on this, because if I could get about 2 millimeters down, that would be absolutely perfect, and so much nicer for bar chords too. Like, not that it can't already, it's good for bar chords, you know, but I'd like to put a little bit less pressure down, you know, so, because this is kind of equal to the Martin. For pressure, well, for distance anyways, pressure is a little different. These are 1253s, the Martin is 1254, so a little bit bigger diameter, believe it or not, makes a huge difference in how things travel and lock in. So, but I don't want to put thicker strings on because the nut is not cut to support anything thicker. Could go thinner, could go to 11s, but then it gets too thin and too quiet, and it's already, like, it's not loud, but it's not quiet either. You know what I mean? But 11s would just really torture the volume levels too much. So I figured 1253s are good. And they are D'Addario, and I do have a package of those kicking around the house. So when I do change the strings, I'm also going to change the pins to something different. Anyways, as far as the rest of it goes, it's a great little guitar. Now, I don't consider this a blem. I consider it, that's life, and that's how things go back together, or go together. I want to show you something here right quick, if I can get the strap out of the way. So right in here, in the neck joint, right at the heel here, you'll notice there's like what looks like a white line, separational line. This is high gloss, this is satin, that's going to show, okay? The only way they could fix that so that that line would not be present, that you would know, really, but you would still see a little bit realistically, it would actually put some gloss up onto the neck, and that's something that I think they decided to go with for, you know, even ease of disassembly later on. You don't want to cut into that, you know, to get it to break free, but also the same thing is, it is a difference between gloss and satin. That's the separational line that's definitely going to happen, and it is on both sides of the neck. It's not a defect. It's not, you know, a problem at all. It is the way it is built and put together. That was the end result. Some people may not like it, but hey, it doesn't affect the guitar in any way, shape, or form. Don't worry. Okay? But that would be the only thing you can probably pet peeve about, right? At least as far as that goes. The tuners are fine. They're just, you know, sealed cast tuners, which, no biggie. I like these styles. I am upgrading them, though. I'm upgrading tuners on all three of my acoustics. I'm upgrading bridge pins on them. Well, the Martin, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to probably go with the liquid metal pins. They're over $200, though. That's the only thing that hurts. Unless they've got a tusk pin that'll fit. Because I've tried regular tusk pins. They won't fit my Martin. I don't know why. And the brass pins I had don't fit my Martin either. So it's kind of like, well, what do we get? There's got to be something. But Martin's a little different how they do their holes. But I should have no problem putting anything I want into this one of the Yamaha. So eventually this will go with brass pins, gold tuners, same as the Yamaha. But I might actually even order some of those parts today. But I do like the guitar, but I do think it's only for a beginner, intermediate kind of player, but advanced players too. And, you know, I'm an advanced player, but, you know, I bought it because I wanted something a little junkier that I can play outside with and not really care about, so I don't harm my precious Martin, right? And even if it was a Taylor that cost me a lot of money, it'd be the same thing. I'd have to buy something to play outdoors with that I don't care about, you know, so... So all in all, it's a fantastic instrument. Check them out. Left-handed players, you only get the black top on this one. Righties, you get the black. You get a couple other color choices, but all the exact same price for $479.99. Now that's Long McQuade. I don't know if Acclaim has any righty available, but if they do, go check them out if you live in North Bay or the surrounding area like Powassan, Trout Creek, Sunridge, South River, all that. Go check them out and see if they got a righty version of this, and maybe they'll cut you the same deal I did. I don't know, but I only paid $450 tax in, so. And the regular retail period on this guitar everywhere is like $475 or something like that. I think that's what Long McQuade has, because they had a $475 on this, but they called that a discount from I think it was like $800 or something. It's like, no, that guitar doesn't sell for $800 in any world. It's $475 across the whole country. So yeah, all right, Canada. So it's kind of a thing that Acclaim does. They make it look like you're getting a really big deal. Meanwhile, that's actually retail price. It could be a little bit higher than retail versus other stores, but I mean, Long McQuade does offer pretty much the cheapest prices in Canada that I've found, but they don't always have sales the same time other people do, so you may get the same product somewhere else at a cheaper price, but they'll also price match too, so that's fine. But $450 tax in was definitely worth it, in my opinion, okay? And it's a lot of guitar for the money. It's nice, and like I said, definitely perfect for beginner and intermediate players. And if you're an advanced player like myself, yeah, it's great, especially if you need something for a kicker. Definitely. I was thinking about playing it this Sunday, but we've already got the sound system set up for my Martin, and it would just take too much time to reset up because we only get like half an hour practice time before service. So maybe the following week I'll take this one for Sunday service, but I'll probably end up playing this or the Yamaha at the barbecue on Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. So there you go. That's the Ibanez AEG50L BKH. Check one out, try it for yourself, see how you like it, and if you do, by all means, buy one. They're actually pretty good guitars. So that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching, and see ya!